And that's why the moon you see in the sky at night doesn't exist. Dude, I'm totally on board with that. I thought you would be. What are your thoughts on Elon hiring his new Twitter CEO from the World Economic Forum? Well, on January 23rd, Elon tweeted, "World Economic Forum is increasingly becoming an unelected world government that the people never asked for and don't want." And then 4 months later, Elon hires Linda Yaccarino from the World Economic Forum to run Twitter. So I think it's a good move. Why do you think that? Well, the move suggests that Elon wants Twitter to be more of an unelected world government that the people didn't ask for and don't want. And I think the new CEO can help Twitter get there. Good point. I mean, people are being totally unfair. They think everyone associated with World Economic Forum is evil. And that's not necessarily true. Like, some World Economic Forum people might be good. And that's not necessarily true. Oh, speaking of things that aren't true, CNN. Did you see their town hall with Trump? Yeah, I was surprised that CNN set that up to purposely make Trump look so good. I don't think they did that on purpose. Really? Yeah, given that CNN has a large nightly viewership of 47 people, and those 47 people stand for nothing, so they'll fall for anything, I think CNN had the agenda of trying to make Trump look bad to them. Really? They made him look so good. Yeah. Well, then I guess they failed big time, which is kind of surprising, because I usually think of CNN as the hallmark of success, but this was a big failure. It's kind of like, what's that company that launched CNN Plus? CNN. So it's like that level of failure, which is surprising coming from CNN. I enjoyed watching the host incessantly interrupting Trump in an effort to try to throw him off. She couldn't have been more abrasive, which again is surprising coming from CNN. It's kind of like she was as bad and off-putting as that Brian Stelter guy. Who'd he used to work for? CNN. Right. Well, it's just kind of surprising that CNN would have someone on who's just as terrible as all of CNN's other hosts. What do you think about when, after she tried interrupting Trump for the 100th time, he looked at her and called her a nasty person? I didn't think that was right. Me either. To be less misleading with his words, I think he should have called her a fuck. Are you aware that there's currently still no problem at the border that just got much worse? It's not happening, obviously, and it's also not happening by accident. Over the weekend, Biden ends Title 42, which opens an already wide open border even more. With as big as this is, how do you think Biden handled the situation that he deliberately caused? Well, as dangerous criminals were invited to illegally enter our country and given cell phones as a welcoming gift for not being allowed to be here, Biden took a strategic vacation to his beach house. Gotta love that crime family money. Did you know that Biden has a very secure wall all around his beach house that keeps people out who aren't supposed to be there? That's just an intelligent thing to do. And did you know that conservatives want a very secure wall at the border that keeps people out who aren't supposed to be here? That is wrong! I hate that the same thing is both right and wrong at the same time. It can be very confusing. Kind of like how sometimes 2 + 2 = 5 and other times 2 + 2 = 3. But before arriving at his beach house to strategically ignore the disasters that he caused, Biden stopped at Howard University, a predominantly black college, to deliver a commencement speech. I'm sure it was very inspiring. What message did his teleprompter have to say? Well, according to Biden, the teleprompter said that white supremacy is the biggest threat to the US. Well, the people at Howard University must be very inclusive. Why? Is that because they invited a white supremacist to address their black student population? Yeah, most groups wouldn't be that inclusive. Huh. Do you think the good people at Howard University knew that at the funeral of KKK member and white supremacist Robert Byrd, that while Biden was delivering the eulogy, he called him a friend and mentor? I doubt they knew that, but that honestly sounds pretty far-fetched. I doubt that ever happened. You're probably right, but here's a video of it.
For a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
Yeah, I too doubt what I just saw with my own eyes, so I imagine the students loved Biden's address. Well, one of the black students protested during Biden's speech by standing up and holding up a sign that said, "Biden and Harris don't care about black people." Whoa! How'd Biden take that? Well, for obvious reasons, I don't think he respected the student's point of view. Did you ever watch Transformers as a kid? Yeah, but I didn't turn trans, so the indoctrination didn't work on me. Well, they still make that show, and they're getting a lot of pushback because they just introduced a non-binary Transformer. Well, they are Transformers. Yeah, they're not biological origin formers, they're Transformers. I don't know what people expect. A lot of people are upset because Washington State now has a law that protects kids from parents who are trying to protect the kids from genital mutilation. Who protects the kids from the government that's trying to protect them? Nobody. Okay, so everything should be fine. We're just doing Stockholm Syndrome. Get this. I read that in Africa, there's still countries that allow parents to cut the clitorises off their kids. Those heathen parents, we've got to stop genital mutilation. I also read that in America, there's parents who are trying to stop doctors from cutting the genitals off their kids. Those heathen parents, we need more gender-affirming care. No doubt. But there's something I don't understand. Physicians take the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm. But a lot of people with objective perspectives view genital mutilation as harmful because of the harm it creates. And yet, it's being promoted as a good thing for doctors to do. Oh, yeah. It's easy to understand. Let me clarify for you. Doctors are not allowed to mutilate anybody in any way, shape, or form because their Hippocratic Oath to do no harm prevents them from doing so. But when you get a form of mutilation labeled as something different, like gender-affirming care, then when the doctor does the exact same act of mutilation, it's no longer considered mutilation, it's considered care. And then the doctor can legally do it without getting his license revoked because care is good and mutilation is bad. It makes sense when the exact same thing is different because it's called different words. Yeah, it totally covers all the bases. It's like stealing is illegal, but if we could just get that same act more progressively labeled as something different, like a new possession procedure, then the act of stealing is no longer wrong. It's actually a good thing. Isn't just using different words to label something the opposite of what it really is a form of mind control? Well, have you ever read 1984? Yeah. Well, I haven't, so I don't know how to answer your question. Do you like communism? I'm a big fan of believing that doing something over and over again will give you a different result. So yeah, I think communism could totally work out very well. Why do you ask? Because one of AOC's former aides is now the head of New York State's Communist Party. Yikes. I mean, AOC's not a communist. I mean, obviously, I'm smart enough to know that she's a Democrat, and the words Democrat and communist being used to describe the exact same thing are different words. It's been a joy talking to you as always, my friend. I feel the same. But unfortunately, I gotta continue sitting here while hoping you eventually walk away. Dude, I'll be here a while. Fantastic. So, why don't you tell me more about how Michael Obama's genitals correlates with the moon landing being fake? Well, see, what you first got to understand is the correlation between frogs now having homosexual tendencies and the Van Allen radiation belt. Well, my friend, it's time to have a heart-to-heart. The benefits of infrared saunas are very clear, but there's problems. Typically, at-home infrared sauna units are incredibly expensive and also take up an enormous amount of space and create clutter in your home. Or you're driving to a facility to sauna, which takes a lot of your time. And I'm happy to say those problems don't have to exist anymore thanks to Boncharge's infrared sauna blanket. The infrared sauna blanket is the most cost-effective infrared sauna system on the market. And as you can see, it's compact, which means it's convenient and doesn't clutter your place. Infrared sauna, I'm talking about reducing your stress, soothing aching muscles, detoxifying yourself, boosting your metabolism, and improving your skin. To be honest with you, at first, I was a little skeptical of the sauna blanket, thinking it's gonna be some weak, flimsy little blanket. But quickly into my first session, I was delighted to realize I was wrong. This thing is powerful and gets potently hot. If you want to bring all the amazing benefits of infrared saunaing into your life in the most cost-effective, convenient way possible, then just go to bondcharge.com/JP. And while you're there, use the discount code JP for 15% off. Enjoy.